You weren't gonna know that?
No.
Oh no! You think I'm kidding?
Seriously, stop.
Oh, you stepped on a nail. Sit down.
You gotta lay down.
Sit down. Sit down.
I don't know about you, but I'm really turned on right now. I mean, now that she's got a cut and she's drunk and she's vulnerable and she's in a deserted warehouse that nobody can see us doing anything. Now, oh my God, yes. So when he sees somebody that's either intoxicated or vulnerable from like an assault, that's a target. That's a target for him, you know? And that is also an aggravating factor that you're targeting vulnerable people.
Soon after, he began texting her, asking for nude photographs.
Her? I mean, dude, there's got to be better looking women in town. I mean, nothing against her. But I mean, honestly, if you're that fucking hard up, you need some help.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers. What? I'm Bruce Rivers. That's right. Board-certified criminal defense lawyer coming to you with my pearl-handled pistol cufflinks so graciously gifted to me by our former content genius that you knew and I knew as Michael Rivers, my son. God rest his soul. Today, I'm going to do a cold reaction. I like doing this. And a lot of my fans are snooty white wine drinkers. You know who you are, Tom and Heather. They are snooty white wine drinkers. They're not snooty, but they're white wine drinkers. Anyway, so grab your big bowl of popcorn, and we're going to have a fun time because nothing's better than a predator cop, right? The title of this one is A Predator Cop Turns Off Bodycam Does the Unthinkable. What, pray tell, could he possibly have up his pant leg? But before we get to that, this is brought to you by askalawyer.com. So let's say you're a predator cop and you need some advice. Should I or should not turn off my body cam and do this? Well, go to askalawyer.com, cop, and they'll tell you not to. And then you just, for $49, save the rest of your career. So for $49, you can get legal advice. Now, here's the thing. I talk a lot about AI. You cannot use AI alone. Askalawyer.com does have an AI component to their platform, but they also have a living, breathing lawyer. So you use the two together to get to where you need to go. A buddy of mine did a brief, and he thought he'd be lazy and just use AI. And he said, can you just look at this for me? He said, these cases don't fucking exist. You can't just do that. And that's why you need a human eye to look at something. So go to askalawyer.com. It can help you with any kind of legal problem, living, breathing human being, along with AI. It's got everything that you need. So go to askalawyer.com. Same people that brought you eForm and eSign, both of which I use it on a regular basis. Okay. You know, there is a bright line between good conduct and bad conduct. And what do you think the body cams worn by cops are designed to do? Get to the truth, right? They filter out dirty cops and they catch bad people. And so if you're a citizen, I want body cam, unless I'm, doing something untoward. So when you turn off your body cam, you're doing it for a reason. So let's see how this goes. Oh, by the way, this is with EWU, Explore With Us. Partners of CLR and love them to death. Yeah, you should watch our episode on incel. You know what incel is? Involuntarily celibate. Talk about the most frustrated population in the world.
Oh no! You think I'm kidding?
Seriously, stop.
Oh, you stepped on a nail.
He was like, please, will you show me your boobs? I won't say nothing. Nobody will know.
You're just really all over me. This is police brutality.
Who would believe my word over somebody who is authority?
Disturbing allegations land a Springfield, Illinois officer at the center of an investigation into police misconduct.
The truth.
So my former brother-in-law, I call him former because I don't talk to my sister, but my former brother-in-law, they're just awful. I don't even go. Don't get me started, okay? Just don't get me started. But he was a cop up in a little town called Moundsview, Minnesota. But he had one of his partners that he would stop a chick on the side of the road, for nothing. If you just happen to see that she's a good looking, whatever. And then he would let them off if they got him off. I mean, you can't make this shit up. It really does happen.
The truth isn't what his body cam records, but in what happens when he turns it off. One by one, victims come forward to unmask a predator in uniform.
One by one. So here's the thing: when you're a creep, when you are a predator, there isn't just one victim, because that was good for then. What's good for next time? You know what I mean? And so they tend to have a serial nature to their activity.
Targeting the very people he swore to protect.
He's very creepy. And I'm most positive that I'm not the first woman that's had to go through this with him.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. In February of 2021, the Illinois State Police, at the request of the Springfield Police Department, launched a criminal investigation into Officer Taylor's staff, a 3-year veteran of the department, over allegations stemming from incidents while on duty.
One of the things, when there's an investigation, if one person says something, it's he said, she said. But you start, developing a pattern if you have multiple complaints, right? And that's what we have here. And you think about, okay, I fucking dodged a bullet with that one. Because I guarantee you there's some allegations that came forward that didn't pan out, and so he dodged that bullet. These guys don't have the internal compass to back off. It's like the client of mine who got acquitted of murder 2. He calls me a few months later. Hey, what's the penalty for counterfeiting? You dumb fuck. You just dodged 25 years. And now you are wondering what the benefit.
An officer came to a domestic dispute. My kids' dad went to jail. That officer that had came there, I think there was 2 or 3 officers, but there was 2 in the kitchen, and there was one that came to the hallway because he heard that I had no shirt on.
I mean, they have strip bars where you can go look at titties all day long. Now, I am not a fan of strip bars, because why would you go get frustrated and give somebody money to get frustrated?
On April 22, 2020, Officer Taylor's staff and his colleagues responded to a domestic disturbance reported by the victim's mother. When they arrived, she met officers at the door.
They're in the bathroom.
Staff up here. Which way?
They're in the bathroom, I believe.
Is that on the first floor?
Yes.
Okay.
There they are.
Come talk to us real quick.
Oh, and she's naked.
Yeah, please get him out of here.
Oh my God.
Just come talk to us.
Again. Oh my
You're acting crazy as hell. Busted down this door.
I didn't mean to
He
bring him in.
needs to go to jail.
Let me tell you something about domestic disputes. Don't get in one. I've been in, abusive relationships in the past, and they're fucking awful. There's no reason to argue with anybody. If you're putting hands on each other, it's just not good.
Just come talk.
Yeah, he needs to go. Let's hold door down.
You want to get dressed real quick and talk to us?
Yeah.
What happened?
We were drinking all night. I went to pick her up from her friends.
Now think about this. This is a crisis, right? There's a domestic dispute, there's an argument, somebody's in danger, and all you can think about is, let me see your titties. I mean, fuck. What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. What you should have done is just jerked off before every shift. Just calm yourself down. Okay, now I can focus on my work. Instead, look at it. You're in a kitchen. This is not the Taj Mahal. I mean, you're working class people, and let me see your titties.
It's been an argument since because her and her friends were naked sending videos on some website.
Oh, really? Well, tell me more about that. Oh, I mean, fucking heck. Honestly, what a dumb fuck. And he ruins his stupid career because of this. That's all he had to hear was, they were sending naked videos for some website. And the husband, or the boyfriend, whoever he is, he's got the right attitude. He's like, I don't want you doing that. I don't want my woman online.
She's naked right this second.
She's getting dressed.
Okay.
While one officer remains
Oh, did you say she's naked? Well, I better go investigate those titties.
in the kitchen with the suspect, officer staff heads down the hallway toward the victim's bedroom.
Once he realized I was naked, he was trying to approach himself more.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Does he stay here?
They're going to lie about
And he
whatever.
needs to go. Look
Okay.
at
Does
this.
he have any property here?
No. Can you look at this?
Yeah.
So cops will use their authority sometimes in order to gain access to whatever their predilection is at the time. Now, 99.99% of cops don't do this, but it does happen. I had a client who was a deputy, and he went into people's homes saying he was investigating thefts in the area of prescription drugs. He said, "Do you have any prescription drugs?" Knock on the door, and when he went into the house, he said, "Well, where do you keep your prescription?" And so he'd go into their medicine cabinet, and then he would steal if they had opiates. So he'd steal their opiates, and this guy wound up. He was so bad. He went through withdrawal. He broke both fucking shoulders just from convulsing. You know, you think he's deputy now? No, he's not. Just sad. But so this guy, "Oh, ma'am, I know you have a towel on, but can I see the evidence?" Can you give me a break?
He just
Okay.
completely disabled it. Told me that I needed to talk to him right now.
What did he? You probably don't know. Did he? Right? Did he kick the door in?
No.
Did someone let him in?
The door was unlocked, so he came in.
She's sitting there in a fucking towel. Okay, I'm going to turn my back, close the door. Why don't you get your clothes on and then come and talk to me?
You just walked in. I'll let you get dressed. Sorry.
Officer Staff leaves her alone to put clothes on and returns to the kitchen where his colleague is still trying to get the full story.
Dude, I'm the breadwinner, bro. I take care of my kids. I come here, I bought her car. I got Mercedes outside's me. I got bank accounts.
You know, I'm not advocating for busting down the door, but guess what? This guy's probably frustrated as fuck. I bust my ass 24/7, and I'm doing everything right, and here you are acting the fool online.
Tens of thousands of dollars in it. I take care of my family, and she's just mad because we're not together. And I don't even know. At this point, I just want to leave, honestly, because my feelings are hurt. Then she calls the cops again after an argument, and now she's gonna false accusate everything. I suppose we kicked the door down and then rebuilt it before you guys got here in 5 minutes.
Moments later, the woman emerges clutching a torn t-shirt and steps outside, remaining with Officer Staff, who addresses her with a gentle tone.
There's probably marks from the shirt ripping.
President,
Okay. What's that from?
No.
It's from the shirt he ripped off.
Did he rip that
She's
off?
got in a fight with her friend Kim.
Okay.
I'll call her right
What,
now.
Because I wouldn't talk to him.
Okay. Did he put hands on you at all in any
No.
other way?
He just ripped this off me.
He's definitely not going to be here.
We're going to court,
I can
Bridget.
promise you that.
Listen, no, you're gonna stay.
Her car's
I don't know why people have to have a messy backyard. It's just as a pet peeve of mine. Or like when you see people have like kids in diapers running around in the neighborhood. You know, put your fucking clothes on, put shoes on your kids, you know, make sure they're well fed, and hopefully they won't have shit dripping down their leg. I mean, seeing messy shit, it just drives me nuts.
not even here because I brought her here because she was drunk at a party, man.
How many times am I gonna have to tell you? We have to get both
Because
sides.
I'm upset.
I know,
This is life.
but you need to listen.
Word to the wise, when you're giving a statement to the cops in a domestic situation, be the calm one. I don't know what she's talking about. I just got here. Oh, no, I didn't do that, officer. I wouldn't do such a thing.
Okay, we have to get both
I
sides of the story,
understand, man. But God
So
damn it.
the longer you keep interrupting her and trying to yell, the longer we're gonna be.
Because I hear her lying. It's pissing me off. Last time I beat holes and did all kinds of
The last thing you want them to think when they're responding to a domestic, that you're pissed off. Telling them that you're pissed off is a form of, that's right, self-snitching. You can get a self-snitching koozie at clarbrusrivers.com.
and drove off and all kinds of stupid and none of it's true.
But you have to understand, we go what's called probable cause. Okay, that's what we have to base everything off of. Okay, I haven't spoken to you. Okay, I plan on it. Okay, so whatever you
I plan on speaking to you right after I see your wife's titties.
said him, unfortunately, I'll probably ask you some more questions that he's already probably asked you. Okay, hold on. We're not going to address that now.
I'm
Okay.
just putting this out.
Okay.
Do you have any pictures of your wife's titties? Because I'm going to need to take those as evidence.
As for the time being, okay, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put you in handcuffs. Okay, because you're under arrest for domestic battery as of right now.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
All right,
Okay.
let's go. Let's go. I'm going to jail. Let's go.
Okay.
The officers escort the man toward a police cruiser, while officer Staff remains with the victim.
You do this often, or?
Yes, we just have DCFS here.
Okay. All right. Well, he's out of your hair for the night.
Though officer staff offers
And I want to be in your hair for the rest of the day.
calm reassurance, her harrowing night is far from over.
Oh, are you kidding me? Dude, she was fighting with her friend. That's why my car's dented. Go look at the hood of my car. Dude, I'm done. Never again. I'm so done with you, bro.
Never be with a woman that would call the cops on you. Period. Hard stop. General rule. So guys, flip side of that. Don't do anything that would require somebody to call the fucking cops on you. You have a heated argument? Leave. Simple as that. If you leave, they can't arrest you.
Lied again. So good luck. I'm going to Pride jail. It looks like. Well, I do love you still. Just know that, no matter what.
I love you, baby. I love you. Ow, baby, I love you. My arms. Oh, fuck it. I want to see their anniversary.
Probably the back one.
Here we go. Dude, get me the out of here. I'm sick of this life.
Shortly after his arrest, the victim and her mother were shocked to hear an unexpected knock at their door.
Me and my mom were like, oh my God, nervous again. Like, what's going on? Did he already get out or what? My mom had came to the door and it was the police officer and she was like, it's the cop again. Whenever I had came back outside to him, he shut his cam off.
Okay.
That instantly popped the flag in my brain. So then he said, you are very hot. And I was like, okay. He was like, I definitely got turned on by you getting out of the tub or whatever inside. And I was like, okay. And he was like, well, I know it was weird I came back, but I just couldn't not come back. And
that's why you should jerk off before every shift. Because otherwise, you're not going to have any more shifts to have. Because you're a creepy cop.
ask you if you would ever be interested in going on a date with me.
Jesus Christ. I mean, okay, let's go into this cesspool of dysfunction. I mean, okay, she's fighting with this guy. She's trying to put naked shit online and got a home that's about as messy and dirty as it possibly can be. But yet, you want to go on a date? Fucking A.
And I said no.
According to the victim, he returned to her home at a later date, following a separate incident involving her and another girl who had fought at a bar. For a second time, her shirt had been torn open.
He said, I missed you. I said, okay, that's weird. Like, okay.
So let me tell you something about the fucking weird factor that some guys just don't get. If a woman tells you that's weird, back off. You know, this isn't the movies where you're crying in the rain. Oh, I gotta be with you, Margaret. Margaret, I just love you. So, you know, chicks don't like that. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, there ain't. It's just creepy. Get the fuck off my doorstep. Go put some clothes on and quit running around my neighborhood naked. Fuck.
Like, okay. And he was like, I miss you calling us.
I miss you calling us. What the fuck? Please have some more domestic disputes so I can come back. I can't fucking believe this. I miss you calling us? Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, I don't. And then he was like, well, you should. He turned off his cam at that point. Somewhere around that point, he turned off his cam again. And then he said, can you please show me your boobs? And I was like, no. And he was like, please, will you show me your boobs? I won't say nothing. Nobody will know. Like, I just want to see them. And I was like, well, they're already halfway out. Like, my shirt's ripped. And that's unnecessary. So then I...
So is that a maybe? Give me a fucking break. Show me your yabos. I want to see your yabos. Let me see your titties. What the fuck? This is just some pathological behavior from somebody who's entrusted to protect and serve. And other officers hate these kinds of people because it's like you're making my job look bad.
Then I went back inside and he left. He's very creepy. And I'm most positive that I'm not the first woman that's had to go through this with him.
Why do you say that?
You can just
tell, feeling. So
what, you can tell a good officer to an officer that tries to take advantage of their position and what they do.
A position of trust, and that's an aggravating factor when a judge looks at a case. So, you know, he's standing before the judge, and the judge would likely say something like, you have been an officer for so many years. You took an oath to protect and serve. You have taken that oath and destroyed it and destroyed the public's trust, not only in you, but in law enforcement in general. And here you are abusing your position, using your position to re-victimize other folks, you know, and then this woman in particular. I mean, that's just fucking weird.
She explains that at first she didn't report what happened as she didn't know the officer's name at the time. However, she later confided in another officer, finally revealing the disturbing encounter.
What did he say about that officer? Did he say...
It was like he knew.
Yeah.
He knew what kind of an officer he was.
Of course he knew. Everybody knows the creepy guy that's on the force, right? But there is what they call a code of silence, code blue. They cover for each other often, but that's happening less and less because people don't want to have to cover for somebody who's, you know, abusing their position.
Did he pull up a picture of them?
Mm-hmm.
Or like on Facebook or
Of him
something?
and his girlfriend.
Oh.
He's like, why didn't you do anything about it? I was like, I mean, I just felt like it's an officer. Like, who's going to believe my word? You know what I mean? I just felt like who would believe my word over somebody who is authority.
Other victims would soon come forward with similar fears as even more egregious incidents began to surface. Investigators learned that just 1 month earlier, on March 27, 2020, officer staff responded to yet another domestic violence call, entering a trailer to find an injured woman in tears.
Nothing sexier than an injured woman in a trailer.
What happened?
Punched me in my face.
You got in an argument?
I woke up, he was drinking. I went to the bathroom, broke it down, and I came back to bed and he punched me in my mouth.
Okay, why was he upset?
I don't know.
Okay, let me see you around real fast. Where's he in his room?
I've been recording.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go talk to him. Okay.
There's blood all over my sheet.
Okay. And what's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
How deplorable is it to re-victimize somebody that's seeking help from you? I just, the depravity of this is just astounding.
I just asked you that.
Oh, I'm not in your house. What?
You and didn't get in an argument or something?
Dude, I have not argued with her. I have not seen her since like midnight this evening. I went to sleep around 2 o'clock in the morning. I got done playing my online game and went to sleep.
Okay. I'm going to go talk to her.
This is what we call, I think this guy's like the CEO of 3M or something. Joking, of course. You know, and I shouldn't really, you know, make fun of people in trailers, but they're such easy targets. Nothing good happens after midnight. 2 a.m. Oh, I punched her in the mouth. I didn't even fucking know it, you know, because I was drunk. You know, this is just cliche, isn't it? You know, drunk and trailer and punch your woman. You know, sounds like a country song to me.
I got your side or your.
No, I'm covered.
Well, how about
What is going on?
How about for right now? I just go talk to her. Okay.
Bill,
Here's the thing. I know she drinks. I know you drink. Okay,
I've been drinking, but I've been sleeping. What's going on right now, sir?
I'm just gonna go talk to her. You're not in trouble.
I've been drinking, but I've been sleeping. You've been in my bed. Give me a break. What do you think it smells like in that room? Smells like him.
If you were in trouble, you'd know it by now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
Okay, so
know, I know.
And how could, now we know where this is going, right? We know this is leading to some sexual misconduct. Why? I don't get it. Because you're a depraved motherfucker.
You too.
I'm by myself right now.
Okay,
So for this time being, just stay where you're at, okay? I'd appreciate it. He's saying he was sleeping.
He's lying.
Okay. Well, what?
Look at my face.
I'm not doubting you. I see it. Okay.
When backup arrived, officer staff returned to the bedroom and instructed the male to put on clothes and shoes.
What am I being charged with?
Did I even say we're being charged with anything?
Oh, well, then I'm sitting my down.
Well, no. I mean, you need to get some shoes
Figure
on.
out my charges.
Get some shoes on, man. Okay, I'll explain everything.
There's no reason I should have shoes on. I should be going to sleep.
Okay. I'll say this to you again. You're either gonna put some shoes on, or this isn't gonna be the way you want to end the night. I'll promise you that. Okay.
Similar to the previous incident, officer staff placed the suspect under arrest and removed him from the home.
Wow, this is crazy, guys. I've not done any of this, guys.
And this is what happens. You know, he said, she said, one of you is going to jail. You know, and if there's marks on somebody, the person who doesn't have the marks on is going to jail.
I know. We hear what you're saying. Okay. I don't want you to think that we're not listening to you. Okay?
Yeah, no, what you're not listening to me because you go throw me in the cell and I never see either of you guys again and I get charged in court. What is going on?
Sounds like he's a savvy consumer of the judicial system.
I've been sleeping.
Dan, you know, I've been out here a few times, okay? And you even said, every time we're out here, everything's smooth, okay? I've always treated you with respect. I've always answered your questions.
Can I just leave and not ever come back?
I mean, maybe if you want to do that after whatever the judge decides to do, but that's...
let's go to jail.
According to the victim, it was shortly after the man had been taken to jail when officer staff returned to her trailer. He walked inside uninvited and entered her bedroom. With his body camera switched off, he put his hand up her shirt and squeezed her breast. She pushed him away, and a short time later, he left the home. But the intrusion didn't end there.
So that right there is what? What are the crimes that we're dealing with there? We are dealing with a burglary, right? Breaking and entering of a home with the intention to commit a crime therein. That's burglary. So burglary doesn't have to mean you're going to go in and steal a TV. You're going in that home uninvited to grab some titty. And that's criminal sexual conduct in probably the 5th degree.
Soon after, he began texting her, asking for nude photographs.
Her? I mean, dude, there's got to be better looking women in town. I mean, nothing against her. But, I mean, honestly, if you're that fucking hard up, you need some help.
She never reported the incidents, convinced no one would believe her. As the investigation continued, they uncovered more incidents where staff had texted women after obtaining their phone numbers while on duty and in uniform.
How did you meet him?
I was in a parking lot at Noonan True Value. Just got done inside and they were closed already. Officer staff at our club walked up to the car and asked if I had any problems or if I was, he made a joke. He's like, some kind of drug deal going on. Or made a joke. I was coloring, waiting in the parking lot. So yeah, that's how it came up.
According to her statement, officer staff claimed he recognized her as a witness to a recent burglary. He asked for her phone number and soon began texting her.
This guy is indiscriminate and serial in nature of his crimes. You add all these up, and he could be looking at and one of the things about separate victims is that, usually multiple crimes you can get concurrent sentences. You could stack these on each other to get consecutive sentences. But I mean, burglary, with somebody in the dwelling and you're doing criminal sexual conduct, that's a prison sentence, period.
What did he text you about?
It's kind of flirty stuff. It wasn't anything super inappropriate. Asked if I had a boyfriend and things of that nature.
Did he ever ask to meet up with you?
Yeah. I mean, no offense, but police officers are intimidating sometimes. And I wasn't trying to be like, leave me alone. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not in town tonight. Or, yeah, sure, I'll try to swing by there whenever.
Does he ever do or say anything else or anything?
And ladies, when you try to blow a guy off, okay, not blow a guy, but blow a guy off by telling him, I'm busy, don't. Be fucking direct. No, I'm not interested. You're too short and you have too many pimples. You're not going to get any taller and you're not going to pop those pimples tonight. So, just be direct. And it may seem like you're rude. Don't be fucking worried about being rude. Just be direct. I'm not interested. Get the fuck away from me.
Weird or anything like when you guys were texting or that night that he met you?
I thought all of it was weird. I mean, police officers don't usually ask you for your phone number.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
I thought it was just, like I said, it was something that I didn't expect to happen. And I wasn't in any kind of position I didn't think to say no.
With each new account, the investigation revealed circumstances that grew even more heinous. In April of 2020, officer staff responded to a domestic dispute between a male and female.
I love how Ewood has the guy just come in from the side.
In this instance, both were arrested at the scene, But according to one officer, the female wasn't processed at the jail.
Do you know why she didn't get booked?
I think my report, they said like her eye was too bloodshot, so they weren't going to take her.
So the jail said they didn't want to take her?
Correct.
Okay. What happened with her as far as like her charges?
She was issued a notice to appear for domestic battery.
What happens to her after that you know of?
I was getting off my shift, so I believe officer staff gave her a ride back to her house.
Okay.
With the notice to appear.
Were they talking to each other or anything like throughout this incident?
All I remember, she was really intoxicated. I don't know if she was saying, she was saying a lot of stuff, but
So when he sees somebody that's either intoxicated or vulnerable from like an assault, that's a target. That's a target for him, you know? And that is also an aggravating factor, that you're targeting vulnerable people.
I really don't recall what she was saying. I just know she was very intoxicated that night.
Do you know, did he make any comments or anything, or did she make any comments before they left?
She was saying a lot of stuff. I think she was saying stuff about like or something sexual. But I don't know if that was directed towards me or him. I really don't remember.
I got you.
Because she's deaf, right?
Yes, she
was hard to understand, very intoxicated.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Just when you think it couldn't get any worse. You can't make this shit up.
In an interview with the female, investigators learned that after driving her home, officer staff walked her back to her bedroom. He then turned off and removed his body camera and began taking off his clothes. According to her statement, he told her he got her out of jail and she felt pressured to give in to his sexual demands. Eerily, she recalls him smiling as though it were a joke, describing him as a child laughing. He warned her not to tell anyone, saying he would know if she did. Then he took her ID and left. In speaking with another officer, investigators learn of another incident that occurred as far back as January of 2020, when officer staff and his colleagues arrested multiple intoxicated women who were trespassing at a Pillsbury plant.
You
alright?
No.
You need a hand?
No, I'm
No?
okay.
Okay. Wait,
She got shit in
He gets off on the infirm. You know, just like Bill Cosby would, drug people and make them out, like basically having sex with a dead person and having complete control of them. That got him off. This guy, I think, gets off on the vulnerable nature of the person that's in front of him. Doesn't matter what they look like. Doesn't matter that they're, heavy or been beaten or whatever. That's just more fuel for his fucking fire. And so, that can happen, we just see everything.
Where's the boy at?
He's up in like the 5th floor. No, he's not lost. He's not coming. I tried. He's trying to find our phones, but my sister.
She has your phone.
She has all 4 of them. But she hit me in the head and
She hit
right
us in
here.
the jaws. Look
Here's
at her
this.
head.
Feel my head right here. Can you feel her head?
No, I can't.
Please, right here.
Well, here's the thing. That's not the most important thing right now.
That's the most important.
Is getting out of here.
Okay.
Seriously.
This is not
okay.
like
She
getting
took our
rid of
keys and everything.
Okay.
Took all of our keys and everything.
Okay. We got it. Here. Are you?
No. She hit me in the head and everything.
I know, but you're drunk. Okay.
I am,
I
but-
see you have no shoes on.
Yeah, she took my shoes and everything.
Okay.
One of the two women, who are romantic partners, appeared to have a bloody nose sustained from an altercation with her sister while they were inside the factory.
My sister tried to kill me.
I know. I get, and we have officers out with her, so don't think that she just got away. Okay. The bad news is we have to make a little bit of a walk.
That's okay.
We have to literally walk
I'll
around
walk
the building.
wherever you gotta go.
Okay. So one
Come
person.
on. I'll carry you if I got to, dude.
Pull that blanket up.
How could you even remotely get turned on by anything that would come out of this situation? It's like I said before, pathological. And here's the thing about sex. We all have our flavor, right? We all, like Robert has his flavor, and that usually is some short little dumpy guy like me. I'm joking. But we all have our flavor, like some might like tall blonde, some might like short Asian, some, you have your preference, of what kind of person, and you can't change that. Like try to get me to like cranberries at Thanksgiving. I fucking throw up at cranberries. No matter what you could do, you can't. And I personally don't believe you can change that. You have your flavor, whatever turns you on. And you know what it is. You know what it is. God, you're sick. No, I'm joking. I don't know. This is this guy's flavor. This predatory, going after the vulnerable, going after people who are before him. And it's his power as a law enforcement officer that gives him that foray into it. What's he do when he's not a law enforcement officer anymore? Does he pose as a law enforcement officer? Who knows?
I'll carry you. Come on. I'll carry you. Come on. Come on, get over my shoulder. I just want to go home. You may carry you? No. Okay, stop.
Each officer took hold of their suspect and began the long walk back to a waiting ambulance. Along the way, the woman with officer staff asked a personal question.
No.
No.
Nope.
Why not?
Are you married? You like Chinese food? I mean, what the fuck? You ever see that one Cheers episode? I used to watch Cheers all the time. Remember Cheers? They're in a sex offender group or sex addiction group. And this woman tells this horrific story how she'll just have sex with anybody, anywhere. And she just tells it, and she's like, oh. And then Sam Malone leans over and says, you like Chinese food?
Why would I be?
Oh, what are you?
Are you?
Are you okay?
Why would you what? She asked why would I be married?
While escorting the intoxicated women through one section of the plant, disaster struck.
I have no shoes. No cord. You want to get on my back? No. Oh, no! You think I'm kidding?
Seriously, stop.
Oh, you stepped on a nail. Sit down. Sit down.
I don't know about you, but I'm really turned on right now. I mean, now that she's got a cut, and she's drunk, and she's vulnerable, and she's in a deserted warehouse that nobody can see us doing anything. Now, oh my God, yes. Give me a break.
Sit down.
Stop!
Trying to pull it out.
Don't take it out! Don't take it out!
Despite the horrific setback, she managed to keep moving and walked ahead with another officer. The other woman, who had earlier asked,
How do you find yourself in a situation like this? I mean, she's got a blanket. Where the hell were they going? And they're staying in this construction area?
officer staff if he was married, walked with him as the two fell behind the group. Moments later, the woman's breast became exposed to the camera. According to investigative notes, officer staff then extends his right hand in the woman's direction, but what he does is not fully captured. The body camera is then turned off for 6 minutes.
So the only thing that shows on these cameras is a little red dot that shows when your camera
6 minutes. Sounds like he's a quick finish.
is recording. Yeah. And I do not recall it being on when we got to the ambulance.
In footage from the incident, 2 of the female suspects arrived at the ambulance, while the one who was with officer staff was taken to a police cruiser. After she learned she was about to be arrested, she made an accusation against officer staff, but the other officers didn't seem to believe her.
So not only you, okay, every single person.
Okay, are we gonna fight right now? Because you know what, you were just all over me. So stop.
Okay.
There's gonna be an issue because you were just literally...
Here's the deal. There's not gonna be an issue.
No,
Yes.
I will get a lawyer.
Okay,
I will
get one.
A lawyer.
Get one.
I will get a lawyer.
Cool. All right, you're under arrest.
You're under arrest for not letting me see your titties.
I will get under arrest because you was alarmed.
Stop
Really? He was
pulling
just
away,
kissing me.
okay? He wasn't, 'cause I was with him.
No, you were
Cody,
not.
put on
You
the
were
car.
not there when he was... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I got both of them. You're good.
You're just really all over me. This is police brutality. Really?
Yes, really, you're drunk.
And that's what they rely on. They rely on the fact that you're a vulnerable person who's drunk, and who's going to believe you?
You stole my and everything. He really did. I'm not even kidding.
One officer
Now, I'm not an expert in the area, but I'm just going to go on a limb saying it's probably not one of the nicest ones I've ever seen.
later recalled the victim saying something else to officer staff.
What exactly did she say, and how did she say it?
That's why I don't want to misquote, but it was...
Did she say genitals?
No, something along the lines of if I showed you my I'd go home, not to jail.
According to her later interview, it was after he shut off his body camera that officer staff put his hand down her pants and inside her underwear.
Without knowing actually what happened, what is your opinion? Do you think that this is something that he had the ability and capability, and that he's the type of guy like this Like, does the shoe fit?
I would not say it's completely out of character. I didn't like working with him. Like, I don't like the way he is personally. I've never had one of these complaints made against me. And the fact that there's just multiple complaints coming against one person, it just seems to ring a little bit of an alarm. Here recently, there's been a couple more things come out since I've been speaking with these other officers. And that's when we decided, there's a lot of coincidences going on. So that's why we all wanted to come forward.
On February 24, 2021, the Illinois State Police arrested Officer Taylor's staff at his residence and transported him to the Sangamon County Jail, held on a
$250,000 bail. So that tells you that it's a really serious case. Why would, it's not an easy job. It's not entirely hard to get. I mean, you don't need a college degree necessarily. You got to go through skills training. But, it's a career, and it's a calling for a lot of folks. And you can springboard from just being a cop up to an investigator, detective, a captain, a chief. And you ruin it all for a quick feel, for a quick, buzz, from strange pussy that's not even high quality.
Bond. Staff pleaded guilty to 5 charges as part of a plea deal, including aggravated criminal sexual abuse, custodial sexual misconduct, criminal sexual abuse, and 2 counts of official misconduct. He was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, with credit for 998 days already served.
So he didn't bail out because he didn't have the money. And then he's got to register as a sex offender, probably for life.
Followed by 1 year of supervised release. He's also required to register as a lifetime sex offender. As a result of his felony convictions, Taylor's staff is effectively barred from ever serving in law enforcement again.
Unbelievable. So that's what happens when you're an officer and you decide, I think I need to put my hands and dick in everything. But you can't make this shit up. And we see this kind of stuff every day, whether it's a preacher shooting his ex-wife's lover or, some guy screwing his best friend's daughter or whatever it is. I remember one case, it was an assault case between a stepdad and a stepson. And I just am like, so what was the fight about? And my client says, well, he's mad at me because I like to drink her. I'm like, you like to drink her? What are you talking about? Yeah, well, I drink her and he likes to drink her. So, he got jealous and he got mad at me because I like to drink her. So we got in a physical fight. I said, Earl, what are you talking about? I said, are you talking about drinking from the spigot? And he's, yeah. So in other words, he drinks his wife's pee and so does the fucking son. What? And I told the prosecutor this and she says, let's get rid of this case now. I mean, fucking hell. We see everything because, when the criminal world is filled with what? Human behavior. And human behavior knows no bounds, right? There's no limit to what people will do, whether it's financial exploitation of somebody or fraud or, physical assaults or dismembering somebody like David or this kind of crap. And the sexual stuff, and it's always guys. Over the 30 years, I think I've had one woman client in 30 years. So that's our little reaction to the predator cop turns off his body camera while he does the unthinkable. Another EWU, and good partners with Explore With Us. So we'll see you next time here at Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon. Get yourself a koozie on CLRBruceRivers.com. Yes, that's right. Let's get Nick out of his rat-infested hole and into a one-bedroom paper shack. See you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is that my God.